You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, go ahead and text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that it is time to live. As you go through your life, take the time to live. Take time to appreciate and enjoy the beauty that surrounds you, to make a difference, to do something that you truly care about. Take the time to know your passion, to follow your purpose, to do something more than simply get through the day. Take time to lift up another, to really listen, to truly care. Take time to seek out the real joys of being alive and being aware of being a unique person with a special purpose. Take time to genuinely give of yourself, for that is the best gift that you can offer. The time you take to really live is time you will always treasure and creates value that will always stay with you. The more often you remember what a special and irreplaceable gift it is to be alive, the more you'll have to offer to the lives of those around you. This very day is your time to live, and it is here for you to experience. Whatever your situation, whatever challenges you face, however busy your schedule may be, there is always so much value in taking the time to really live. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL. That's Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, listen, family, I'd like to introduce a talented Bay Area musician whose art invites us to explore the realms of sound, of creativity, and introspection. With this new single, Floating Clouds, Anubis crafts an auditory experience that's as nostalgic as it is visionary. Merging lo-fi, trap, and ambient beats, his music transports listeners to places of tranquility and imagination. And it's a privilege to dive into the mind of an artist dedicated to sparking creativity through sound. So please join me in saying welcome, friend, to the one and only Anubis Wolf. Yo, welcome to the show.
Yo, Dini, it's a pleasure to be on here. It's Anubis Wolf.
Absolutely, man. How are you doing?
For everything to get started, doing well, doing a lot of work today, trying to get rid of that hustle and bustle of the entrepreneur aspect of music, grinding all day on the computer, and putting this code down on paper as best as I can.
Absolutely, man. I know what that feels like, brother. So, again, welcome to the show, man. Your music is a unique blend of ambience and rhythm that really connects with listeners. So, could you share with us what's been on your heart and mind as you bring floating clouds to the world and explore new creative horizons?
Yeah, when it comes to floating clouds, it's just been all about kind of the city whisper, how the city sounds, especially during the day. Just trying to escape since there's just so many big buildings and the streets are packed and filled. You just feel the honking horns and stuff. Sometimes if you're able to, you just try to get to the top highest part of the building where there's some grass, where there's some, opening. You take the elevator up and you stand out there. You kind of don't hear the lower sounds of the beeping and the footsteps and the walking. You just look up and you just start seeing the clouds. You start hallucinating. You start absorbing the calmness, the stillness of the day, and like how beautiful a place you come from, no matter where you're at, and feeling that love, that living, and that kind of intensity that you're getting, that exhilaration that you're getting at the top of the buildings is what really brought my heart and inspiration to Floating Clouds, and how you're hearing that. When you're hearing the hi-hats, you're hearing kind of like the steps, and you're hearing the rapidness of like the beneath, and then you're kind of getting that swirl of the wind and everything kind of taking over the day and how things are and where you're standing. Most of us are trying to get from the bottom to the top, and the elevator is one of the most convenient ways to get there. So if you ever have the chance and you can stand at the top of the building and kind of see things from afar, that you're in the right place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, I know this is going to be weird, but if you could describe Floating Clouds in 3 words, what would you say?
It would be alchemy, laboratory, and ambiance.
I like that. So, man, what's your favorite part of the Bay Area music scene? Have you always been there?
You know what? I grew up in the city. I'm more established here in the suburbs and in the countryside right now, in the Napa wine country region. And when I go out to the city, I do partake in the clubs. I do partake in kind of the underground music scenes, the DJ sets. Since I was born and raised in the city, my heart's always stayed in the city since I was just a newborn all the way up until a teenager, when I packed up my bags and headed out to the wine country.
Do you miss home?
Oh, all the time. I love the city. I just love what it represents, where it's from, kind of the natives.
Yeah.
And just knowing, like, I used to walk around in the streets as a little kid, sometimes unsupervised, playing with my friends and family, bouncing balls, trying to run to the park, escaping from school if possible, and just living it up as like a young kid to a preteen.
Yeah, sounds like good times, man. Do you ever write about that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I do feel great about it.
Yeah. So, man, what's like the most unusual place you found inspiration for a track?
The most unusual place that I found for a track would just be like reality and Chinese song bowls. I used to spend a lot of my time in the Chinatown part of the city, Japantown of San Francisco as a kid, and I used to play with the bulls as they came to me. And with the bulls, you're supposed to get the stem, and you're supposed to have a nice rhythm when you circle the top of the bowl. And if you're able to control it properly, you're going to be able to get this kind of sound that's sonic, that is like a swirling, hypnotic, sensational sound that comes from it. And as I've done the history to these song bowls, they provide healing. And when you listen to Floating Clouds, you can definitely hear kind of this circular sounds that it provides.
Yeah.
Next to the trap, of course. The trap is what hits hard, and that's what kind of hits home since I was established in the Mission District of the Bay Area.
Yeah. Man, would you say the Bay Area, well, I want to say that, has the Bay Area influenced this new sound of yours as Anubis Wolf?
Yes. I mean, that's where my heart is, but since I travel so much, I traveled to China, I traveled to Japan.
Oh, wow.
I've been to,
Nice.
I've been to El Salvador,
Nice.
Puerto Rico, and next up like London and things of that sort. I would say that these types of sounds kind of come from all over the world. And since my heart, San Fran, Tokyo has always been around, it's been established in San Francisco, but I take all different features that come from all around the world, from any type of sound that kind of comes up in the streets or in the clubs or even in like a high-end elegant bar, restaurant, hotel that you kind of get, right? Like different materials, different sounds, different structures all kind of have a frequency sound coming from them. So I'm always kind of building that. But where I'm really trying to build a foundation is kind of the sea and how it's saturated, and kind of bringing back an old vinyl authenticity to the sound with some tactile experiences.
Yeah, funny thing you mentioned that. I was just talking to an artist the other day. This is like a Grammy winner, and he was like, man, I want to go back to analog so bad, but I can't find anyone to, operate that machinery. It's there, but, it's not being used in the studio. I said, that would be cool to bring back, because vinyl is making a comeback. It's been that way for like the past 10 years. Cassette tapes are making their way back into circuits. So hearing that sound again is just something that I'm looking forward to, man. And you mentioned vinyl. So yeah, man, I just love that sound from those particular gadgets. I don't know if gadgets is a good word to describe it, but I'll just say gadgets. So man, while you were traveling, what has been like your favorite destination, and what brought you back to the States?
It's definitely Japan. Japan is kind of where I was like, this is close to home. It kind of has like the same feel. It has the tall buildings, but it kind of has like the suburbish urban areas and everything of that sort. And just like when my footsteps kind of hit the ground, it's just it has kind of the same sound, but it's different. It's like knocking on a hardwood desk compared to a metal desk. It's like it's familiar, but it's different. The sounds are different when I'm walking, and I loved it out there in Japan. My biggest inspiration in Jobbies happens to be from Japan, and what he was doing at the time when he was coming out was experimental. What he was doing to the Nas tracks and trying to come out and things of that sort, and kind of how like it was a form of musical graffiti. I mean, that was perceived in the way that it was perceived at that time, and how he was conducting it. So to be able to step where he was creating and kind of see how he was doing things and like what was getting his inspiration out, especially when it comes to the hip hop feel, which was like a Jay Dilla sound. it kind of really made me start thinking and having these thoughts that would expand this expand to the spiritual realm, where like now I had to really put my imagination to it and kind of hallucinate how things were in the past, and just kind of understanding like Akihabara and kind of understanding kind of that anime aspect of it, where Najabi's kind of laid out his music was an inspiration, and it's calling me back. It's calling me back. I think I'm going to be heading out there again to develop some new ideas, to understand a different hustle and bustle, different sounds when it comes to language, and the lights and the neon lights that they have out there. I realize that every city has different lights and how they set up the cities, especially when it comes to the nightlife.
Yeah. Does Japan really have like a red light district?
You know, I didn't explore the red light district as much as I wanted to, but as I hear, it does, and it's a place to be. They have the alleyway that I did get to explore. There's this special alley that you walk down, and they have all the good foods, and they have the drinks, and people come around the world to go there and eat and shop, and you might even catch locals coming out of work late, you know, having a late night shift and going out of work. It's like, hey man, I gotta go get some food, and you hit the famous spot in the alley where you know, you just kind of eat and relax and kind of de-stress. So that's what's pulling me there, just kind of those sounds and like how people are relaxing, what they're eating and things of that sort. I've been a big fan of sushi.
Really? Which one is your favorite?
The dragon roll, man. The dragon roll is definitely the top, and spider roll. I've been liking the spider roll, and spicy tuna, and mackerel, and white tuna.
Yeah. Man, you're making me hungry now.
Yeah, man. You definitely got to grab something to eat after this. Get a plate and grab something to eat. These type of conversations do make you hungry when you're thinking about them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, I read somewhere you mentioned that music allows you to escape. What challenges or experiences in life have made this escape meaningful for you?
What challenges? It's just right now the challenges is going to be kind of the return of the vinyl, as you were saying, making sure the vinyl is authentic, which has been trying to come out in most of my music, and trying to tap into the past. I think that's kind of hard, like resetting the clock to hear things at like its original state, but at the same time understanding like the technology at the time was the best, right? And when it comes to newer technologies that are coming out, they're moving away from them because it's not keeping the original sound. It's not allowing the sound to be at the level it is in the present, in this modern time, and getting lost in kind of the algorithm that, you know, normally prevents these new brilliant artists from achieving the popularity that they could become, right? Like the challenges that I've been facing are just kind of like these big media companies, and like trying to understand like what kind of cog am I into it, and when I'm trying to escape from that, it's like really trying to reset the clock and seeing like, okay, if I went back in time, or even if the time was right now and I was stepping from the future to the present, how would I change things? Like, how would I do things? And when I think of the thought process of making music, that's what kind of brings the beat into my mind, and how it's being formed.
What do you think Floating Clouds offers in this regard?
What Floating Clouds offers in this regard? It just offers a futuristic sound that reminds you of something close. It's the city looking up, right? Like when you're a young kid and they're telling you about your aspirations, and you're telling a kid what are their dreams, right? And they're now having struggles in their life, right? To give the kids the power to look up into the sky and see their dreams come true in the clouds that are moving, right? It builds upon what you said. Is like how does floating clouds give back, and what is it? How does it contribute, right? Mm-hmm. So this is from now when you see a kid going and they're looking up and they're looking at the clouds and stuff, like kids have been doing this for years now, and that was also part of the inspiration, was that when I was thinking about like the cowboy times when there was like no TV and there's no radio and there's no nothing, right? A lot of these, guys who are working hard, slaving away, would, take a hike and, with a significant other, or even by themselves, just lay out in a field of grass and look up to the sky and kind of relieve themselves from kind of everything, right? And look up into the sky and see everything that they thought into their mind that, could be possible, make it into reality.
Mm-hmm. How often are you looking up?
All the time, man. Always looking up, man. Always trying to level up. San Francisco has these big city towers, so when I look up at the lights, and I look up like, how am I going to get up there, and like who's going to give me access, and how do I build these networks to get to the top. And I've been sitting, I've worked and sat in offices and stuff and looked and everything like that. I'm just always trying to look at something more delightful and see things from a positive aspect, no matter what's going on in my daily life or what's going on in the city or what's going on in the news. So that's
absolutely, man.
That's me.
Yeah, lately, man, I've been finding myself just staring into the clouds. I guess I'm looking for someone, or I don't know, but first thing I do when I step outside, man, I look up. Other people, I notice they just walk. They look around them, but never up. And I was like, why? Why don't you look up? Well, there's nothing there. Really? Look again. Look again.
Yeah, man, that's what right now why the city and Japan kind of hit me hard is because everything's building up. Like, everything that we're walking right now is building. Like, people are building on it. And the only way that the city is getting bigger is building higher and higher and stacking and stacking and stacking up and up and up. And, as kind of the hustlers that we are, we even want to see our money stack up like that. So it's interesting that every layer, every brick, every stem, every bar has to go up and get better. And the only available space once everything's taken over is going to be in the sky. So we just have to get to the heavens and the skies first, right? So yeah. That's just kind of like a funny joke that's going on. So
absolutely. All right, guys, we're about to jump into the single Floating Clouds, and then we'll be right back with more Anubis Wolf. Stay tuned. All right. You just got finished listening to the ambiance, the incredible, man, the mesmerizing, the hypnotizing sounds of Anubis Wolf. I thought I was finna start studying like some deep thought. I like to think. I'm a really big thinker. I like to really disconnect. I like to, when I say disconnect, I mean from like the matrix, from like social media, from the phone, from the world. Well, not the world, but the digital part of the world, and just like to get in nature or sit in my office where I keep things minimal and listen to lo-fi beats. And I think really deep and big thoughts that really help me in my business and help me in my spiritual and personal life. So I'm definitely adding this song to my playlist, and I hope you guys add it to yours as well. This was dope. It is called Floating Clouds. I want to go outside now. It's raining, but you know, hey, there's beauty in rain too, right? But yeah, there's no clouds right now and it's pretty dark, but tomorrow is a new day and hopefully the sun is shining. Those clouds are waiting on me. I know they will be. So, well, anyway, I'm gushing over this track. Let's go ahead and bring Anubis Wolf back. Yo. Dope record, man. Dope record.
Thank you. No, I'm happy that it played on the radio. As you see, it just kind of has the whole ambiance of the city, from kind of taking those steps and hearing those balls and hearing those loud noises, that trap sound, you know, because it's just, we're all out there, those hi-hats, and then to clear just that ambiance swirling Chinese bowl sound on there. So where it kind of just takes you out and makes you think and makes you want to go outside no matter what kind of weather it is, you know, because that's how you generate those new sounds. No matter what it is.
Yeah, man. What kind of mood were you in when you created this?
I was in a neutral mood. When I was making it, I was very neutral. I had a clear vision in my head, just kind of not have any positive or negative energies being put into it, and not trying to make anything out of the ordinary. But at the same time, understanding that life is hard, man, and life keeps kind of pulling you back to places you don't want to be, and things kind of look hard. You think that you can't succeed. So if you kind of have, when I was making, I was like, if I had a neutral mindset, a neutral sound that could help elevate, so you can kind of see things in rational thought, if that's negative or positive, kind of looking at the cons and the pros, and then making a decision. I thought that was the best thing to do for the song, even though it's kind of neutral. It really has a sway to it. It really has a movement, kind of makes you want to get up and think, pump blood through your body, and kind of get up off of whatever you're doing, and get back to it. Get back to living the dream that you know that you're meant to live.
Anubis, where can our listeners connect with you online?
Right now, Spotify at Anubis Wolf, SoundCloud at Anubis Wolf. I'm on Apple Music and on Tidal.
All right. Listeners, just in case you didn't get those links, I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. I want to thank Anubis Wolf for taking us on a journey through his music, his creativity, his vision. And today we've experienced the calm yet profound worlds within floating clouds, the inspiration behind his soundscapes, and his unique approach to music. Man, your dedication to creating immersive sonic experiences is inspiring, and I know listeners will be transported by your work, man. So guys, please join me in saying thank you to Anubis Wolf for this captivating conversation, and to our listeners, don't forget to subscribe to both Anubis Wolf and Vigilantes Radio. Leave us a rating, share it with a friend, and until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep listening to the sounds around you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, long time? I forgot to mention that, oh, by the way, this is Deanie, Vigilantes Radio Live, VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. onlyonetheory.com. Check that out too. Peace.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Deanie, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Micah Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal, this award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.